Welcome into another edition of Friday Night Review. I am Scalz, and tonight we are joined by one of the original hosts, Sir Jamey Rose. And then we have none other than the mastermind behind Bosh Spots and Chair Shots, Rivet City Radio, the Will Gray. How's everybody doing tonight?
Dudes, I'm doing fantastic. This was a great edition of Smackdown. I'm just having a great week, and to kick off a great 3 days of wrestling. This is exciting stuff. Or is it 2 days? Anyways,
3 days.
All
Tonight's
up.
3.
3 days. Yeah,
4 technically if you want to count Monday.
Monday.
Tuesday's NXT, so it could be 5 consecutive days of WWE type products.
You get wrestling.
What's going on now? Welcome in.
I'm just really glad to be here, honestly. Like, it's just a good night. I'm glad to be here to chat about wrestling. We didn't do Botch Spots last weekend because of the pay-per-view. We're running early this weekend because of the pay-per-view. So, like, it's a double-edged sword. I love the fact that we have a ton of content to chew on, but it's like, I really don't want to have to run against WWE or AEW every weekend, guys. Like, come on. Like, I get it.
So you have this weekend, you had last weekend. When's the next one for you?
When's
the next one you're gonna have to go up against?
SummerSlam is on a Saturday. When's the next AEW pay-per-view? They're the only ones. Them and NXT are the ones that are running Sundays right now.
And probably All In.
Yeah, I would say probably All In.
But
and it's funny, like, I don't get it. People would rather watch WWE than Botch Spots and Chair Shots. I still haven't figured out that algorithm. Billions of people go over there. I just can't get them to come back. So I see it. I won't run against WWE. I learned the hard way. We were just talking about the politics in wrestling, Jamey. There you go. Like,
yeah, but I mean,
100%. All right, so let's continue talking about tonight. Since you just mentioned the match with Bayley, you had Bayley taking on Piper Niven. Do we think that Piper is eventually going to win this title at some point?
She should.
I mean, and it won't be from Bayley, but she'll be a champion and more than deserving.
I really wanted her to beat Bayley tonight. To get that win over Bayley. You could have used it with the defense that there was outside interference, like a distraction. Like, it wouldn't have been a clean pin, but it would have given her that momentum that she needs towards it. But
I mean, she's one of my favorites to watch on that roster right now. Like, everything
she has been for me for a long time too.
I mean, even Nia Jax, and she's been back. Very impressive. I mean, they've been picking her spots very carefully and very well. I mean,
Nia Jax is one of the best women wrestlers in the roster right now.
Yeah, she's
the most improved.
Agreed.
I gave her. Oops, finish, Jamey. I'm sorry.
Say my top 3 on that roster right now is Lyra, Piper, and Nia.
Are you talking about just SmackDown, or are you talking about the entire roster?
Throughout it all.
That's a bold statement, amigo.
Yeah. That's definitely a bold statement there.
I'll stand on it. I'll stand on business, brother. I think who has the best women's roster, though, right now is NXT. And they have had it for a while.
NXT, the great thing about NXT is no matter who comes and leaves, comes and goes and everything, that roster just keeps turning. Yeah.
Yeah.
They pull people out of nowhere. You get people coming in off of NIL contracts, and they're now top of the class. Like, they have people down there that want to learn and get better and to evolve their craft.
I mean,
wait until the WWE independent development system kicks off and they start funneling in independent talent as well as next in line talent. And now WWE has this triangle with two different development systems that are funneling in two different types of athletes at the same time from two different perspectives. And I have tape of a year ago saying that they needed to pair with an NWA or an Impact to help facilitate that relationship.
Mm-hmm. Which is exactly kind of what I was going to say, kind of in point with that. You know, you see independent wrestlers make that jump recently, even like a Javon Evans, you know, Jay Malachi. You have what I was going to say is, you know, you have the Jim Ross way of it. You know, you get an amateur athlete and you train them to be a hell of a pro wrestler. And then you have the John Laurinaitis system. Get a model out of a catalog and make them a wrestler. What WWE has kind of done at this point is kind of fused the two together, and they're just churning out talent. So I know that's kind of a weird way of putting it, but they're doing it and they're making it work.
And just think of it this way. The NXT roster right now doesn't even have Julia.
Yeah. Just wait.
When she comes onto that roster, that's it. Like, that puts them in the conversation for best women's division. Like, hands down.
They're already the conversation.
I think NXT and Impact have two of the best, if not the two best women's divisions in pro wrestling. And we're seeing them work in tandem right now.
Yeah.
And I think that's huge.
I was saying
I agree.
For the past 15 years, you know, past 10 years, that Impact's had the best, you know, women's wrestling out there. You know, you had your Gail Kims, you had your Awesome Kongs, you had your Mickey Jameses, you know, and you had your Brooks, your, you know, even the other women on that roster.
Velvet Sky.
Angelina Love. Like, you had all of them. Madison Rayne.
You had the booking for that as well. It's just they never really had the viewership that they needed to be recognized as being the top women's division.
They never had a good TV deal to really put them out there, for sure. Man, we're talking about everything but SmackDown right now.
Well, we started with the SmackDown for the match, but I'm excited for the Money in the Bank ladder match tomorrow with the women, just because we're going to see that the focus on the 6 that are there.
What's up, Tom?
What's going on, Tom? How are we doing tonight? You weren't on our prediction show, Jamey.
I was not. It was sad. I didn't even get an invite.
Well, you're very hard to book.
Well, that's about to change. So,
who do you think is going to win the Money in the Bank ladder match
on the women's side?
Yes.
Well, I saw a tweet from a very smart gentleman by the name of Scalz, and I highly agree with this, saying that Chelsea Green is going to win and be the first woman to cash in unsuccessfully, which is my exact thought on that. It would just fit completely. I mean, because, you know, she's on the SmackDown roster. It works perfectly because you have Nia Jax who's going to compete for that title anyways. So,
it just makes sense to me because it fits her character. And they've constantly focused on it's always been 100% success rates for the women.
Yep.
Like, every time they talk about it, they're mentioning that. WWE does not do things without a reason.
Yep.
And when people start realizing that, they should start paying attention to little details that are being done.
Oh, yeah.
And that's a detail that's been constantly said. To me, that means the next person that wins is failing. And it doesn't make sense for anybody else on the roster besides her, because she can handle, like, it would not affect her at all. Like, I was talking to What were
It
you
would
gonna
even
say?
play in. It would even play into the character a little
It
bit
would help it, yeah.
See,
because she would have the opportunity to be like, "I got screwed," or "This didn't happen," or "If the ref was better, I want to speak to your manager." It plays into that Karen nonsense.
and it also could lead to the hot mess showing up
Good.
Ooh,
because it can be the breakdown that is needed to get to that character. So there's a lot of ways they can go with it. It just fits too perfectly for it to actually happen if this was still Vince running the show. With Triple H running, there's a real possibility that this can happen. But if it was not going to be a failed cash in, who do you think would win?
That's not a felt cash in.
it's only a 2-horse race. It's Chelsea Green or Tiffany Stratton, and I feel like the other 4 women are just there to put butts in seats.
Yeah.
Because when it boils down to it, I feel like both of the. If Tiffany Stratton hadn't fucked up her image on social media, whether you agree with it or not, we all know why she was taken off TV for a month and a half. It was because of what happened. Had she not done that, it would be even more apparent that this was a 2-horse race. Because she was only on TV that one time and immediately got moved back to being a favorite alongside Chelsea Green. So in my opinion, I believe it has to be one of those two almost. But what do I know?
You kind of think that it's not going to be Naomi. Like, that's the first one I could easily rule out.
Right.
She's one of those people when I say she's there to put butts in seats because we know she's a draw. She's hyper fucking talented. She's gorgeous. All of the things that make a superstar a superstar.
Mm-hmm.
She's a former champion, which makes you convinced that she could win and be convincing. She's also successful in rumbles and ladder matches. So she's another convincing. But we all see it in the story. Right now, Naomi's not the main character. No. Naomi is a secondary character or support to like a Bailey, or she would, you know what I mean? And I think that's lame because she went from being one of the top superstars and competitors in Impact to being a B-list like tag along in WWE, which is fucking terrible for her. But that's the reality of it. Naomi wouldn't be convincing as Money in the Bank because she's been playing tag along this whole time.
Until she probably eventually turns on Bailey.
Which would be fine, and that would be cool as shit, because I think a heel Naomi, bringing back a heel Jimmy, and just put them together and just let them run fucking roughshod.
Like Bonnie and Clyde, baby.
Bonnie and fucking Clyde, let it go, man.
Yeah.
Like, just do that. Give me the book, Hunter. I got this.
And they join the bloodline?
Here's my book. Here's my book.
The OG bloodline?
Yeah.
Oh, man. You know, Zoe, she's only there to really get kicked in the head by Trish Stratus. Lyra's not ready yet.
See, I disagree with that one. I think Lyra can take the ball and run with it.
She could. She's but
that good.
I don't think they think she's ready yet.
I just don't. I mean, they had her wrestle Becky Lynch. I think they know what they got with her.
Oh, yeah.
I just don't think it's time within the story right now. I think her moment's going to be, it'll be sometime next summer.
I mean, even if it's the summer after, she still has a lot of career left. She's just starting.
And then you have Io Sky, who would be a 2-time champion if she won.
Say, I don't think they'll go back to back.
But any other thoughts on this part of the show?
This part of the show? No. I hate Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
All right, so
because I'm not.
Let's head on out for evening tonight. Jamey, where can we find you?
So you can find me on my shenanigans at Jamey Rose PW on Twitter. Jamey Rose PW also on Instagram. I forgot I changed that. You could find me doing some talking here and there on Diamond State Wrestling. And you could find me I guess the cat's been out of the bag. I think Shadow said something last week about it. So Rinkside Chatter is coming back to a full cast in August. We're not going to blow the entire operation yet. So you got Scalz, you got me, and you got Shadow, and got some more exciting stuff coming up. But that's going to be in August, and I'm super pumped about that. And I'm ready. I'm excited. I miss being on the network, and this is going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Will?
First and foremost, I want to say thank you as always for allowing me to come on FNR and hang out with you guys. I am the Will Gray. I'm a host of Botch Spots and Share Shots. I'm a chef by trade and a mark by choice. If you want to find everything I do, look for me anywhere you do anything on the internet at the Will Gray, at Botch Spots and Share Shots, at Rivet City Radio. You'll find me. You'll find us. Once you find my link tree, you'll find everything I do for Botch Spots and Share Shots, Rivet City Radio, Off the Top Media, and my writing profile for Last Word on Sports.
I am Scalz. I am the host of Friday Night Review. I also host NXT on Tap on Tuesdays right here on Off the Top. You can find me here on Off the Top Media for both YouTube and Twitch. Make sure you guys go check out the YouTube channel. Give us some watch hours. We are trying to get towards the monetization on over there. So anything would help us and continue us on that path. You can also find us on Off the Top Media _ on TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram. I want to thank everybody for coming out. We'll catch y'all soon. Maybe we'll do a little review of either Heat Wave or Money in the Bank. So stay tuned to the socials for any updates on future programming. Have a great evening.
Troubled times caught between confusion and pain.
Have a great night.
Pain.